All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Getting Active on Social Media. I'm Will with Western Car Wash Association. Before we get started, we have a few quick announcements. I wanted to first plug an upcoming event that I'm sure you've all heard about, Splash, in Las Vegas. ICA and WCA are putting on this event for the first time. It's going to be a ton of fun. It's 24 hours with a bunch of activity, education, vendors, and more. So that's at the Mirage in Las Vegas on October 25th and 26th. Tickets are just $49, so head over to wcwa.org for more information on that. Now on to today's webinar. All attendees will be on mute to avoid any background noise. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and type those into the questions box, and then our presenters will periodically answer those. One of our presenters today is a WCA member from Utah. Sydney King has owned and operated the Good Spray car washes in Kaysville and Farmington since 2008. While investigating new investment business opportunities, Sydney and her husband were introduced to a Utah company called Social 5. Sydney currently works as a sales advisor for Social 5 in addition to running her car washes. So without further delay, I'm going to turn it over to Sydney, and she will introduce our other presenter as well.
Hi, thank you all for joining us today, and thank you, Will, for this opportunity. As many of you car wash owners are, we do wear multiple hats, and selling social media management and SEO is a new hat for me. And I work with a fantastic company called Social 5, and I've asked the CEO of Social 5 to help me do this presentation today. But the other reason I thought this was a well-served time for us all as a car wash owner and wearing that hat, we are usually busy focused on making sure water's coming out of the spots that water's supposed to come out of and not out of places that it's not supposed to be coming out of, and making sure we have satisfied customers that leave our locations with clean cars, and doing our bookworks at 11 o'clock at night. So we don't have time to focus on social media, but we know we need to be there. So Rob's going to walk through us today with some fantastic information that hopefully you can go back to your car washes with and know how to do some new things yourself, or some opportunities that maybe we can help you with going forward. So Rob Willman is the CEO, as I said, of Social 5, and I'm going to turn the time over to him.
Hey, thanks, Cindy. Really my pleasure to join everyone today. You guys are fantastic entrepreneurs in a great business. Whether or not you utilize Social 5 to help you with services, we're going to give you some fantastic information today on how to harness this remarkable movement of social media. Let me give you a little background on social media. Think about this for a moment. Radio took 38 years to reach an audience of 50 million listeners. And then comes along this world of television, this visual new medium of marketing, and it only takes 13 years for television to reach the audience of 50 million viewers. And then the advent of the internet and the speed of the digital world only takes 4 years for the internet to amass 50 million users. Now consider this for a minute. We hit the era of social media marketing. With Facebook here being our example, it only took Facebook 9 months to reach 100 million users. So if you just consider that for a moment, there's never been anything quite like social media, and it's changing everything. You'd have to live in a cave to not recognize the impact of social media across the world. And although Facebook's a leader, they're not the only one, but I will point out that Facebook today, just take a guess, active users on Facebook do you think there are? This is really a remarkable story. There are 1.6 billion active users. So to put this into perspective, if Facebook were a country, that'd be #1 ahead of China, ahead of India, and unlike television or radio, it is free to turn on a business Facebook page. So as a small business owner, why would you not want to turn on a business Facebook page when there's 1.6 billion monthly users, especially when you can target in your geographic radius? But again, it's not just Facebook. Some of the other really popular social media channels are Twitter being the second, and I just find it humorous every day as I watch the news and see a presidential campaign being run on Twitter. I mean, who would have guessed that we would turn to Twitter as our main platform of communication as a presidential candidate? It is a remarkable tool, Twitter is. And then LinkedIn, if you're not familiar with LinkedIn, it's the largest professional network online, and it was just purchased by Microsoft for $26 billion. And this is a really important tool for B2B businesses. So in your car wash, if you're linking to other local businesses as referrals, this is an important tool. It's not just B2C that you need to consider, business to consumer. You also need to consider B2C ways to promote your business. And it's the old idea of getting involved with community networking, but doing it online, not just in person. So LinkedIn is the #3 social media channel. And then I would remind the audience that email is still the most pervasive social media tool today. A lot of people get annoyed by email because there's been so much spam out there. But if email is utilized effectively, this is a very, very remarkable tool to stay top of mind and to disseminate information proactively to a customer base or a potential customer base.
Hey Rob, this is Will. I don't think your presentation is live.
Oh, it is not live? Okay. Let's see, Will, what do I need to do to make sure we're live here? I have some really beautiful slides for everyone to see.
So there should be, at the top, it should say show my screen.
Share screen.
Screen sharing. Show screen. Tell me if that's working now.
There we go.
Okay, well, hey, these were some really, I'm going to back up because I want you to see my pretty slides. This is the first slide I walked through, showing the evolution from radio to Facebook and how long it took those to get there. Thanks, Will, for the heads up. And then we began talking about the different social media platforms. Facebook, 1.6 billion users, then Twitter, followed by LinkedIn, and email being a pervasive platform. And then we were just getting ready to talk for a moment about mobility. And this is really important. There are more people accessing the internet via a mobile device than a desktop device today. So more people access the internet via their smartphone than they do a desktop.
They even said recently 80% of people open their emails on their mobile instead of a desktop or laptop. So as important as your emails are, they're on their mobile doing that and reading those. So
yeah, great point. So if you don't have a mobile strategy for the internet, you're getting left behind. It's not just about accessibility from a desktop. This is a very interesting stat. There are more mobile phone subscribers than people in the world. It's because many people have multiple devices subscribed. It might be an iPhone and an iPad, or in some countries they have multiple phones because it's cheaper to communicate with individuals on the same carrier. So just emphasizing the importance of mobile devices And when you have a digital marketing strategy, you need to consider mobility. Okay, with this, what does that mean? What does all that data really mean for businesses? Well, if you read between the lines, what's happening is there's a major shift from traditional advertising strategies towards the world of social and digital. So, for example, in the past, if you wanted to get noticed, you simply had an ad in the yellow pages. Well, that's not the case today. Nobody looks at the yellow pages anymore. So directories are declining. Outdoor billboards are even declining. And a lot of reasons for this is it's just far more cost effective to advertise online than it is on a billboard or in a magazine. Newspapers is very interesting. That is on a rapid decline all across the country. Newspapers are closing and shrinking because people are moving to digital to get their news. Radio is even declining a little bit. And this is not to suggest that newspaper and radio and television aren't relevant today. What it is to suggest is there's a major shift from advertisers from traditional advertising methodologies to the world of digital. And one of the main reasons for that, it's more cost effective, it's measurable. I mean, you can't really measure the impact of your billboard. You're simply told that you're getting X amount of eyeballs on a daily basis. Whereas in the digital world, you can measure exactly who is seeing your information. And so it's measurable and more cost effective. Now, let me give you an example of some businesses that are really doing a great job with digital marketing, and they're winning awards. And these are big brands. They're national companies. This isn't a local car wash, but I think it's an important point here. Nike is an interesting example. They built their brand on a celebrity endorsement commercial. You remember the Just Do It commercials on Super Bowls, but they've stated that they'll no longer spend $4 million on a 30-second Super Bowl commercial to reach 200 million viewers because they're doing it every day online. And what I want to emphasize to us as small business owners is that if the smartest marketeers in the world are no longer on television, but they're on social media, they know something we ought to pay attention to. And that's really the point here, is that the smartest marketing companies are shifting to the world of social and digital because it's cost effective, it's greater reach, and the rest of us need to understand what they're doing. But keep in mind that we recognize that Nike is able to do this every day because they have a team of very experienced marketeers. And that's not the case for the majority of businesses in America. 80% of small businesses in America have less than 9 employees, and my guess is that the majority of you have even less than 9 employees. You're a sole proprietor. You probably have people collecting money and doing some maintenance work, but you don't have the resources that these companies have. So with that, this is one of the places that we could help you. And we have thousands of clients in hundreds of industries, even multiple countries, and we have very affordable packages. And we do it for the businesses that we serve. It's an outsourced turnkey solution. We have the best writers in the world from USA Today and New York Times and people that are really good at writing content, so you don't have to worry about any of that in your social media. It's not a self-help tool. We do it for you, and there's no long-term contracts, and we've got a great customer support team to really do this all for you. Now, having said that, let me tell you why people are jumping into social media, and then I'm going to show you some examples. So if you want to do it on your own, you're going to know how to do it effectively. So why are small businesses getting in social? Well, one of the reasons is they're fearful of getting left behind when everybody else starts to leverage the world of social media. is it's more affordable than other options like newspaper or coupons or other strategies that you might have used in place, advertising at the Little League Park. It's far more affordable, and there's more ways for customers to find you online than just on a bulletin board or in a newspaper. And it's important to keep in mind that social media audiences are more likely to hear what you have to say if you're more conversational and educational, not necessarily a slick willy or slick marketing and advertising machine. So those are important elements to remember. Okay, so with that, let's talk about some tips to doing social media well. And we're not only going to talk about social media like Facebook and Twitter and blogs, we're also going to talk about SEO and getting noticed online, as well as advertising through mediums like Facebook and LinkedIn. But this is really important. What do you think is the #1 mistake people make when they turn on a social channel like Facebook or Twitter? What's the #1 mistake they make? You might be thinking about the content. You may be thinking about typos, or should I use images or pictures? How long should it be? Actually, the #1 mistake that people make is the graphics. And let me describe it this way. Here are two businesses that turned on a social media Facebook page, and that's what they looked like. Notice the one on the left, a collision repair organization. There's no brand energy. They've misused the real estate. We would consider this business socially awkward. So the first thing that we did when we helped this business is we graphically designed their Facebook page so it looked like a website. It really stood out and it looked great. On the right-hand side is a celebrity that is a former prosecuting attorney and now a legal analyst on Dr. Phil and The View and other programs. You can see what those two businesses look like now that they have good graphics. And this is really, really important. If you go turn on a free business Facebook page and you don't design it well, it's like turning on a lousy website. So this isn't hard, but it takes a little bit of thought to make sure that it's designed well. You notice on the one on the right with Lonnie, you can actually click on a tab and see her appearances on television or buy her book online. And some of the things that we've done with the car wash industry is we'll have links to where they might be able to get discounts or coupons or annual passes, or to buy right there online, or to leave a review are important elements that you might put on your business Facebook page. Okay, so there's one tip. Here's another tip. What do you think is the second mistake people make when they turn on a social media channel? So after you've turned on a page and it looks good graphically, what do you think the next mistake people make? Well, it really is all about their content. How often they do it. We see some businesses that set up their business Facebook page, put a little bit of information, and then it's silent for 3 or 4 months. We would call that socially stale. And that's not smart. In social media, you have to be consistent in what you put on. And there's also what you put on. And let me give you a couple of tips there. First of all, 40% of the information that you put on social media can be about your product or service. The rest of it should be fun, interesting, educational. It might be tying in the NFL right now because the NFL just got started. It could be tying in the Olympics during the summer and some fun facts about the summer. It's also including some humor. For your industry, all kinds of things you can do on cartoons with cars or crashing or accidents or deadly intersections or teenage driving. You could even take an altruistic approach on safe driving. So you've got to make sure you intertwine interesting information, and only 40% should be promotional. Now, this is a really important tip. If you're writing things down, this is a good one. And I know we're recording this event so you can see it in the future as well, but on Facebook, there's a rhythm of how often you should post information. And on Facebook, it's about 3 times a week. On a blog, you should do it about 2 times a month. Twitter's a little bit more frequently. We see that with our presidential candidate. I don't know how often they're tweeting, but it really should be up to 5 times a week, almost daily on Twitter. And then email, if you're utilizing an email strategy, once a month is the right amount. Now, keep in mind on email, it should be a short, sweet little teaser that links back to a blog or back to your Facebook page. Don't send, a monolithic newsletter. Nobody reads that stuff anymore. We're used to just quick headlines, and if that intrigues us, we read more. And one of the other things I want to mention here is the most popular type of content is a picture. So on the left-hand side, I'm not sure what industry this is representing, but images are far more important than a bunch of words. Videos are second behind images, but you definitely want images on your social channels. And be careful here not just to grab content from Google. Make sure you own the images, or you can get sued by using, breaking copyright infringement. So be careful there. And the most important thing is making sure that the content is shareable, that people want to forward it or like it or retweet it. That's why humor and current affairs and other things are important in your posts. Okay, so with that, once you have a good social strategy, let me give you 4 tips to growing your audience. And let me describe it this way. If you turn on a business Facebook page and you have 1 follower, and that's you, it doesn't really matter how good your content is. You have to have people that see it. So growing your audience is important. And also engaging with your customers and interacting with them online is important. And here's 4 ways to do that. Growing your audience, you can ask your friends for like, and you can do that electronically. You don't just have to walk around and ask people in person. Asking friends for like is important. On all your emails, you might put an email signature that has your Facebook and your LinkedIn page so that they can click on it. Another very effective tool to growing your audience and creating engagement is boosting your content. You can put in as little as $5 into Facebook, and they'll guarantee you that it will reach a certain audience of people. So it's kind of this pay-to-play game where you pay Facebook and they'll boost your content and ensure that the people that you want to see it in the demographic that you're after see it. You can also advertise on Facebook, and there you can define your demographics and your psychographics, so age, income, location, gender, all of those things you can define, pay Facebook a little bit of money, and for example, a few $100s a month, they'll guarantee you're going to reach between 6,000 and 8,000 people in your demographic. This is one of the most cost-effective ways to advertise ever. Think about where could you put $200 and be guaranteed that it would reach your audience of 6,000 people. It's really remarkable what you can do. One of the other tricks is to do some contesting where you might give away a free car wash or other things to promote your business. So contests and giveaways are really a great strategy. And the other advantage of contesting is that you can gather information when they enter your contest. You can capture their email address to utilize in your email strategy. So those are 4 really good tips to doing social media effectively. Okay, so with that, I want to show you a couple of live examples here, okay? I'm going to bring up a live web browser. Will, you're able to see this okay, right?
Yeah, looks good.
Okay. Okay, good. Let me show you a couple examples of people that are in the car industry, not necessarily the car wash industry, but I will show you some of those in a moment. Here is a blog for this collision repair organization, and here's what I want you to notice. I'm going to go from their blog to their Facebook page, and I want you to notice the graphics. So I've just clicked over to their Facebook page, and you notice that the graphics are the same. So again, that's very important. If I went to their Twitter or their LinkedIn, you'd see the similar graphics on those pages. The next thing I want you to notice is the content. See how big this image is? It's very, very important to include an image with little information, and then they can click for more information. You notice that every one of these posts includes the logo that you see on the left-hand side there, the Cyclop Collision logo. So anytime they create a post, that logo is present. And that's very important because when someone shares it, that logo goes with you. So that's how you create brand recognition. So getting the logo right on your Facebook page is very important because that goes with every post. And if it's not visible, and I don't love this one because when it gets smaller, it's hard to see the car, right? So you got to think about what that logo looks like so that when it goes with the post, it looks good. If I move down, you'll notice again graphics on each one of these posts as I scroll through here. The other thing I want you to notice on the right-hand side, these apps here, you notice there's a link to the website or a link to their Twitter. This is really important in SEO by creating backlinks to other locations. And Facebook's a really great place to create backlinks. And so creating a link to your website helps in the backlinking and your ranking of your website. Here's another trick that I thought I'd show you. We have what's called Leave a Review here. This is an app that many of our customers use where they invite people to fill out a quick survey. Now, let me tell you why this is so important. 85% of people trust their friends, and only 15% of people trust advertisers. So getting your customers to talk about you online is really the key to social media. And so I'm going to just fill out this survey here. And I'm going to rank this business really high, okay? And because I'm ranking them high, when I conclude the survey, it's going to ask me if I would be willing to share this business with my friends. So I'm going to hit submit. Because I've ranked them high, it says, thanks for your feedback. Please tell your friends about us. And if I click share here, it's going to post a message about this collision repair organization. And when I click post here, that's going to go to my personal Facebook page. Now think about that for a minute. I've got 400 or 500 friends on Facebook, and I'm going to post a message positively endorsing this collision repair organization. That is a really effective tool. And car wash businesses that have used this tool on our system are getting their customers to promote their business instead of them promoting their business. In fact, we have one car wash that anytime someone completes the survey, they send them a coupon or a token for a free car wash. We have another business that sends them a red box, so they send them $1, 50 coupon that they can go redeem a red box. So there's some other things you can do to provide incentive. Let me show you two other quick examples here. Here's another business that sells tires or rings. Again, I want you to notice when I go to the Facebook page, same graphics, good graphics in the posts themselves. On the apps, they have promotions that can show you the promotions they've got going on. So again, the same example here. Here's another business that provides lifts on cars. So again, I'm just trying to show you the consistency of graphics and how often they're posting. This post went out an hour ago. The last one was 18 hours ago, so they're posting every few days here, which is perfect. Lots of graphics, lots of images. And then let me show you just a couple of last examples of your industry. Here's Scrubby's Car Wash. This is their blog. If I click this home button, it'll take them to the website. But if I click on the Facebook page, again, consistent graphics, good imagery. This is a car wash doing a great, great job. They have now just started, and they've got 230 likes on this page, so they're starting to build their audience. On their apps, they've got information about their services, their website, so you could click on services and it'll show you some of the services that this business offers. So there's a good implementation on Facebook with this page. One last example, here's a Facebook page for the Good Spray.
Yay!
This is Sydney's business, and you'll notice similar things here. Good images in the post. Here's how you can buy car washes online, or click to hit the website or contact for more information. So those are some good examples. You notice when you click on how to purchase, it brings up some annual car wash options or gift cards, and you can purchase right there. So there's some good implementations. So with that, I want to leave us some time for questions, because a lot of questions are popping in. But let me give you a couple of last ideas, and then we'll answer the questions that have come in. Okay. What are your options from a company like Social5? If you want help and you don't want to do it yourself, what are your options? Let me give you a few. If you wanted our team to do your Facebook page, it's $150 a month. We'll write all of the posts, we'll design the pages, we'll create the links. So for $150 a month, you can have a Facebook presence done by professionals. So that's one option. Another option is if you want us to help you with advertising. For $250 a month, we'll not only do advertising that will reach 6,000 to 16,000 views, we'll also do some boosting that'll boost the content. So that's a good way for you to leverage Facebook to advertise. So that's an option if you want to consider Facebook advertising. Another option is our launch service. This gets you listed in all the online directories like Google and Bing and Yahoo, but it also gets you listed on the iPhone and on Android and in Yelp. Because in the past, all you had to do is sign up for Yellow Pages and you would get listed, but that's not the case today. There's over 100 different online directories, and this service is ideal for retail businesses, restaurants, chiropractors, car washes, because now you're listed in all the directories, including Google, and so this will help your ranking. And so for $150 a month, this is a really good option for a car wash. A couple other options to consider. If you want to be a little more aggressive and not do just Facebook, but you want to add Twitter and blogs and email strategy, this is a good package for that. This package includes LinkedIn, blogs, emails, and it also has an analytical portal to watch. So if you want to get a little more aggressive, those are options. Sometimes people like to combine our most comprehensive social packages with advertising, and that's that package there. So that gives you a good overview of service options. It's pretty easy. You choose a package that is right for you. You schedule an onboarding call with your team of writers and your graphics team, and then we go to work and you're live in a couple of weeks. There's no long-term contract. You can cancel anytime. So if you're looking for somebody to do your social for you, I think you've got some good options there. So with that, let's hit some of the questions here, and we'll The first question was, are you putting anything on screen? Sorry about that. Let's see. Oops, lost audio. Okay, it's back. So I think those were questions early on. So I don't see any questions that were posted. Perhaps, Will, we could just open up the lines and see if there are any live questions that we could answer. Obviously, there's a recording of this presentation for those that want to see it again, but why don't we open it up and see if there's any questions we can answer.
That's the car wash back there.
All right, sorry about that. Everyone should be unmuted now if anyone has any questions.
Comments or questions?
We either did a really good job, Sydney, or we bored everybody.
Or they're sound asleep.
Or you're in the middle of washing your car. Hey, let me give a couple of final comments here while you're thinking if there's questions you want to ask. Often people ask, what are the most important social channels? Facebook for sure. If you do anything, do Facebook. If you want to add to that, a blog is important to show you as a thought leader. Email is a very important tool, and then you want to add LinkedIn and Twitter. Often people ask us about Pinterest. That's a very effective tool, especially in your industry, because you have a lot of visual things that you can show on cars. So Pinterest is one to consider. It's very female-dominated, but it is a really growing platform. Snapchat and Instagram, although important tools, they're mostly the younger kids, and I wouldn't promote those platforms over Facebook at this point. So those are the right social platforms in order of importance. Anything else, Sydney, you think we might have missed while we're seeing if there's last questions?
I just want to, from the business standpoint of car washes, there are so many ways to get in front of your clients, and I'm not going to admit to being an old dog, but I'm certainly not I'm a more advanced puppy. And you don't have to have the knowledge. You don't have to take the time to do the research to know how to do this correctly. There are people out there to help. I'd love to be one of those that can help you, knowing both sides of the industry with car washing and the social media management. Well, feel free to contact us. My information is, I believe, on Will's invitation to the webinar, and would be happy to go to work for you so that you don't have to do the brain damage to do this yourself. But know that the people are out there on social media. It is the biggest way for you to get in front of those eyeballs, and the cheapest way to do it. So would be happy to help or answer any questions that you might have as well.
Yeah, and I would, if I were just to be really specific on what I would recommend for a car wash, I would recommend our starter Facebook package, if nothing else, and I would recommend the launch service.
I would too, because how many people are in their car going, I just got splattered by bugs, what's the closest car wash to me? You're going to come up.
Yeah, so to get listed on all the online directories and to have a Facebook presence, that's where I would start. And then if you want to push on it a little bit, I'll do some Facebook advertising. And this can be as low as $50 to whatever you want it to be. But this is money that goes directly to Facebook to promote your page. Those would be my recommendations, Cindy. A starter package for a car wash, plus launch for getting listed and SEO services. And then I would leverage Facebook advertising. That would be how I would embark upon the social media. And then as you see success, you can step on it and do things. Okay, I think we've given enough time for questions. Is there anything last? And Cindy, I'm going to type in the answer here your phone number so that everybody's got it. What's your phone number?
801
801
232
232
8476.
Okay, that's Sydney. So if you want to contact Sydney, there's a phone number. She can answer questions and provide more information. Hopefully we've provided some good education. Whether or not we ever work with you, you found some valuable education to be thinking about what's the right move for you in social media. But don't get left behind. This is the new wave, and especially as the millennials are coming, you know, the millennials will be the largest generation in American history in 2 years. They will have more buying power than the baby boomers. And right behind that is Gen Z, and they all grew up in the digital world.
This in their hands, yeah.
So those of us that are a little bit older, we have a little bit of bias on how we find information. The kids, these younger generations, they find you.
They don't do it any other way.
And they interact with you. They don't read a newspaper. If you go to a college campus, there's no newspapers. So being ready for the coming generations is so important, especially when these millennials have more buying power than even the baby boomers. That's the audience that we're after. We're not truly targeting, you know, the older generation as it moves along. So be prepared. You got to get in this game at some point.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you, Rob and Sydney. If anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out to Sydney or follow up with me, and I can get you in contact with them. Other than that, if you'd like to view the recording, we will have it available. And everyone have a great weekend.
Hey, Will, before we sign off, there was two questions that I saw that just come in. One is, how much interaction will there be with us after they're brought online? That's an important question. And let me answer it this way. Some businesses don't even want to mess with it, and we do everything, and there's little interaction other than looking at the reports, and we'll reach out and ask questions on a monthly basis. Other businesses want to be more involved, and they even want to post some things themselves, and for those, we give them a free subscription to our university, our Social 5 University, that trains them how to augment or add to. So I would say you can be as involved as you want to be or as hands-off as you want to be. And we've got some...
You have access to your team by email 24/7. So that if there is a special promotion coming up for a Father's Day or a Mother's Day sale or something like that, you can put that into your content team, and they'll write up all of your content geared towards that promotion.
Good. And there was two other questions. How do we contact you for help with advertising? Sydney can help you with that.
You bet.
And the other comment was, excellent presentation, muchly appreciated. So good. Hey, Sydney, I guess someone appreciated what we did. Sydney, why don't you give your phone number one last time?
It's 801-232-8476. And we have this nifty tool. If you have your phones in front of you and you've got texting abilities, text to the phone number 88588.
So that's the phone number.
That's the phone number.
88588.
And then in the text itself, type in GET, GETSOMEDIA, GetSoMedia, and the number 1. And you will get all of my contact information.
I'm going to put that in here. So,
and again, the number 88588.
So phone number, there's your cell phone number. Then if you want to text, you put in
GetSoMedia 1.
GetSoMedia 1, and your contact information will come back. Good
automatically
idea. Automatically gets all your contact.
And you'd get that if you did the Somo package too. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Will, I think that's covered it.
All right. Thank you, guys. Everyone have a great weekend.
Thank you.